Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kendra. Today I'm going to talk to you about TrustedHouseSitters.com, which is currently where I'm at right now. If you've ever seen any of my videos, then you know that I am an RV lifer pretty much full time, and I have been for almost 7 years. But this season, I've decided to just park my RV at a campground spot that I'll stay at for the entire season and use this time to just hop around, explore, do different things, host workations with entrepreneurs. If you're super eager to get signed up for Trusted House Sitters, then make sure that you use my link, which is in the description below, and that's going to help me get 2 months free on my next subscription of Trusted House Sitters. And then when you sign up, make sure that you share your link with your friends and family or whomever you know so that you can do the same. That's a good boy, Louie. So as most people know, I do not have a dog, and so this is actually the pet of the person who owns this house. And so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about, should you use Trusted House Sitters? Who is it the best fit for? The difference in cost if you compare an Airbnb or an alternative VRBO stay to Trusted House Sitters, as well as the pros and cons and risks of using TrustedHouseSitters.com. I'm really making this content in hopes that I'm going to create a very fun, very cool community of people who enjoy alternative lifestyle or are entrepreneurs, business owners, travelers, nomads, RV lifers, van lifers, you name it. So please subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up if it's helpful to you. So the agenda for this video is pretty simple. I'm going to talk about TrustedHouseSitters.com and my personal experience with it so far. I'm also going to give you a list of pros and cons as well as risks associated with using TrustedHouseSitters.com. And lastly, please stick around to the end for my tips on how you can actually sign up for Trusted House Sitters and have your first gigs booked within less than 1 week. And let me know in the comment section, what is your motivation for using Trusted House Sitters? I would love to learn more about other people's philosophy around why this is a good choice for them, and alternatively, what you would do if you didn't use TrustedHouseSitters.com. So very briefly, I'm going to talk about my personal experience using Trusted House Sitters. I will say I haven't been using this service an extremely long amount of time, but so far, I literally love it so much. Honestly, it has saved me so much money because I'm doing RV life almost full time, and in the meantime, having to book an Airbnb is like, I used to pay $1,000 in rent for my 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. So the idea of paying $1,000 for a week in Philadelphia is absolutely, it's never going to be me. It can never be me. So this has actually been really cool because 1, I'm saving tons of money. 2, I'm meeting actually some really cool people. And 3, as somebody who spends a lot of time in isolation or spends time by myself, it's actually been really great to be exposed to new environments and new atmospheres, and then also have a pup or a cat around as well. So I'll tell you how quickly this happened for me. I signed up for Trusted House Sitters. I sent the link that they give you to get personal house sitter reviews or like character reviews to, maybe 5 or 6 of my friends. Most of them, not all of them, filled it out. And then I uploaded my profile to make sure that it was like optimized to the best of my ability. And then within a week, I had secured my first house sitting gig, which is this one, another one on a different side of Philadelphia, and then also another one out in a different part of Pennsylvania, which will last for a couple of weeks. And that's where I'll be going after I come back from Colorado, which is where I'm headed to next week on Wednesday. So, things are moving fast. Things are moving fast. I'm actually really happy about the outcome so far, and I intend to completely keep using this service. I think my favorite thing about Trusted House Sitters so far is that it's not like one of those other type of platforms where you have to go searching endlessly and contacting people and maybe they won't reply, or maybe they'll reply a month later after you've already secured something. The people who need their house sat or their animals cared for are actually listing their location, their house, and the dates that they need someone to stay. And then you simply just have to apply, which is basically just a short, simple process. So if you're somebody who's kind of like uncomfortable talking to strangers, or maybe a little hesitant because you don't know what to say, I got you. I will make a separate video if someone indicates that that would be helpful to them, because for me, I love talking to strangers. I love connecting with people. And so I have a whole system set up from A to Z on how to connect with the homeowners, how to instill confidence that you are the best sitter possible, and then go ahead and help you to get the booking secured. So when it comes to price, there are 3 different options you can choose from when you're deciding what sort of membership tier you need. Number 1 is just super basic. You get to have access to the people who are looking for house sitters, and it's about $129 for the year, and it includes your free background check. Number 2 is the option that I have initially decided to go with. 1, because it's the most reasonable in price at $169 for the year. Although if you use my link in the description, then you might get a discount. The main reason why I selected this one is because it allows you to save your search. And being able to save your search is really great because you want to be notified as soon as something becomes available. So if you plan on going to San Francisco in August, or in Puerto Rico in June, or maybe to Kenya in July, then you can save your search, and as soon as something comes up, you'll be immediately notified, which means that you can get your application in faster. So the value of this membership really comes down to how much you're going to be using it. $169 at full price for the year is extremely low when you compare the cost of even an Airbnb. Even if you just do a room rental, an Airbnb in some areas can be as much as $40 to $50 a night, and so TrustedHouseSitters.com is going to pay for itself in the equivalent of what a single room rental that you're sharing with other people might be in only about 3 to 4 days, depending on the area. One of the reasons why I've elected to go this route as opposed to using Rover is because I really no longer have the financial motivation to do Rover. I don't really care if I get paid to stay in someone's house because I'm self-employed. I run my businesses from my laptop in the comfort of any place that I choose to travel. And so I'd rather probably not choose Rover because it really is not the best option for my life at this point. At this point, I would rather pay a membership fee and sit someone's pet for free rather than going on Rover and actually getting paid to do the same exact thing. And for some people, that might sound ridiculous because it's like doing something free versus paying to do the same thing. But I no longer have the financial motivation to pet sit. And honestly, I would say that the caliber of people and the needs of the pets are a little bit different. I was a pet sitter with Rover for many years, and I would say oftentimes when I would house sit for people, their pets had a lot of challenges, and it was worth paying somebody to deal with that as opposed to having someone stay in your home for free. This dog, Louie, is truly the best, super down to earth, very low key, and those are my preferred type of pets. So first I'm going to talk about the pros, then I'll talk about the cons, as well as any risks that you might want to consider before choosing to become a trusted house sitter. Hands down, definitely one of the best features of using TrustedHouseSitters.com is that you actually get to choose any place in the world. I've seen a lot of options in all over Europe, all over Asia, some in Australia, Hawaii, throughout the continental US, and even in South America. So this platform is growing rapidly, and it is still relatively new. So we can guarantee that more people are going to hear about it and that there are going to be amazing locations that you're going to be able to visit free from the cost of having to pay for an accommodation. In one of my recent videos that I posted while I've been staying here, I was talking about how it can definitely be lonely to live as a nomad, traveling full time, going from place to place, and how that can kind of weigh on your mind and your body and spirit. And so having an animal companion around is actually really nice to help if you're experiencing isolation. And the last pro that I'll mention is really just to do with community. The people who I've connected with through TrustedHouseSitters.com so far have actually just been really cool people who I hope to have a mutually beneficial friendship with. One lady who I'm currently staying at her house, she's an artist and a teacher in Manhattan. Another lady who I met is a newly graduated residency physician, as well as her husband. And another girl who I met is vegetarian and does pottery and also has kids. And so if I get a chance to hang out with these people after this, which is, very likely, if you let them know that you'd like to be friends, then that's obviously like huge benefit. They'll probably share with their friends whenever their friends need a house sitter, and just in general, it's great to make friends and new connections. Now I'm going to talk about the cons of potentially being a trusted house sitter. So I would say that these really only apply to people who maybe are looking for an alternative option for stays and don't have the right motivations. But number one would be you're absolutely responsible for the home and also for the pet. And if you're not a responsible person, then that might not be a vibe for you. They're going to give you a key to their house. You might have to water their plants. You might have to bring their mail in and be responsible for their packages. Things could break while you're there. In general, you just have to be a person who's okay with being responsible for other people's homes and other people's pets, which if you're a responsible person, then that's not really a huge deal. The next con that I would say could be that if you're going somewhere because you genuinely want to do a lot of sightseeing, then having to sit with a pet, which is totally optional on trustedhousesitters.com, is going to limit your ability to do that. If you have a dog that is especially anxious and needs to be really close to people, or if you have a cat that eats at a very specific time of the day, or if the animal requires to be walked 3 or 4 times a day. These are all real possibilities and constraints that could affect your ability to enjoy your time in the new place that you're traveling while using trustedhousesitters.com. Another potential con might be that you don't have the money, or that you don't want to spend the money on the initial membership fee of $129 to $259 at the making of this video. And I would say that, again, this is just a minimal cost when you compare how much it costs to stay in an Airbnb or find other accommodations. Not to mention, trustedhousesitters.com has a money back guarantee. So if you don't get a booking, then they'll simply give you your money back. But if you use the guide that is free for you and in the description, that's going to help you use your genuine, lovely personality to be able to get your first booking, then you have nothing to worry about. Another con to consider is that there could be high competition for more desirable locations. If you're going to Maui or to Bali or to Thailand or any number of really desirable places, there is going to be higher competition. Another thing to consider is that there might be higher competition for areas that are considered to be more desirable. Say you're going to Bali or Thailand or Aruba or Maui. These places are going to have higher applications because people want to be able to save money on their travels, and that's totally fine. I have found that for me personally, maybe the areas I've been going are not desirable, but I haven't had any problems reaching out to the person, immediately initiating a conversation, and using the steps that I provided in the free guide below to be able to get my house sitting booked. The last con I would say is I suppose there could be undesirable or unpredictable living situations. There's a really good possibility that you're not even going to be able to see the place where you're staying before you go and stay there. Say for instance, you are going to Maui and you know that you're going to be going there on vacation, and you're totally okay with using trusted house sitters instead of booking an Airbnb or a hotel. Well, there's a really low probability that you're going to be going to Maui in advance before you get there. So my recommendation would be for you to reach out to the owner and do a video review so that you can see the accommodations while you're on the phone with them before you commit to something. Because if you withdraw, then there could be penalties associated with your account, or people may leave a negative review. So what are the risks involved with using trustedhousesitters.com? Well, keep in mind that you are a random person and this person is a random person, and there could be security issues involved with using this service. That has not been my experience. I have really enjoyed staying here. I came because I was within an hour and a half drive. I came before the booking was confirmed, and I came over and we talked. We talked for hours because I tend to do that with people, and it was no problem whatsoever. When I came back, the homeowner was still here. She gave me a key. She gave me the code to the lockbox. No problems, no questions asked. I've been sending photos, I've been sending updates. It's the holiday season right now, so we've just been keeping in touch, and there haven't been any issues whatsoever. But that's not to say that that couldn't happen. Another risk might be that you have something personally come up and you have to leave that trusted house sitter gig. Well, in that case, then it's on the homeowner to find someone to sit their pet, or to find someone to take over if you are unable to do that. The reason that that is risky is because if you have to leave unexpectedly, say for instance you have an emergency, then there's a good possibility that that person's going to leave you a negative review because you obviously had to leave, and then who's going to take care of their animals or pets last minute. In general, the only risk associated with using trusted house sitters might just be any sort of miscommunications or things to do with security. So the best advice I have is just to simply do your due diligence, to ask questions, communicate your boundaries, and make sure that you all are both on the same page. In addition to the guide, which you can find in the description below, I can absolutely make a video showing you my personal profile so that you can see what it looks like to have an optimized profile. This is again not something I would initially think about as being necessary, but the other night I was hanging out with my best friend and we were talking about dating profiles because we're both single, and she was explaining to me how she had no idea what to say about herself. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what to say? Like, what photos do I use? I don't know what to do. And it made me realize that what's easy and simple for some of us may not be easy and simple for everybody. So for me, I think that through all the dating profiles and the online business profiles and things that I've created over the years, this is just really simple and very obvious to me. So if you'd like me to give you another video showing you my fully optimized profile that helped me get, so if it's of value to you to see my profile, let me know in the comments and I'll make another video so that you can see what it looks like when you have a fully optimized page that will help you get your first house sitter gig within 1 week or less. Well, I think that's going to be all for now. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. Again, if you're interested in alternative lifestyle, RV life, turning your hobbies into an income, or any of the other things that I do, which you can find out about in the description, then feel free to connect with me. I would love to get to know you better. Definitely consider subscribing, and I hope to cross paths with you in the world.